What is going on, everybody? And in this video I will be talking about the touring car class, and I'm actually going to split this up into two videos. I'm going to do the first video talking about the touring cars, and I'm actually going to make a video for the best bike as well, because I feel like those deserve some love. So getting right into it, obviously I'm hovering over the Renault R.S.01 right now, and honestly, this freaking car is pretty crazy. But before we get into that, guys, I'm going to talk about the other cars here real fast as well and why I don't choose them. So obviously, looking at the 365, I don't really use this car too much. I will not be talking about the bikes in this video either. I'll have a separate video for that as well. So like I said, I don't use this car too often here. And then when it comes to these vehicles as well, honestly, I really don't use any of these unless I absolutely have to in a summit. That's really the only reason I would actually run them. Like if you have to require to use them in a summit, then yeah, I'll probably run them. But besides that, I really don't use any of them. They're all pretty good. Like my first favorite vehicle was actually this car, was the FXXKK, and well, this car is pretty dope too. But honestly, I just don't feel like it's the greatest when it comes to racing and stuff like that. I feel like there is other better vehicles there. The Zonda R is pretty good, but I don't really run that thing either. And like I said, I don't really use any of the rest of the vehicles here. Not saying they're not good. Like for example, the Gallardo Super Trofeo is also insanely good. This is probably my second go-to vehicle besides the actual RS01. This car is insanely good as well. The other vehicles, on the other hand, I don't really use any of these too much either. I know a lot of people use the Huracan race car as well, which is right here. This car is also pretty dang good too. That was one of my other vehicles I ran for a bit, and then I stopped using it after that just because I didn't really think it was the greatest. And that goes for the other ones as well. Not saying these cars are bad though, guys. I just feel like if you want the best go-to vehicle, I'd say there's got to be like one vehicle that's better than all of them, which I feel like every class does have one vehicle that's kind of better than everything else that you can run in summits to get your highest score. Like looking at all the leaderboards and going over all these cars and researching this for these videos, I really do feel like there is one vehicle that seems to be on top every single time in a lot of these races, and I feel like that is the car you're going to want to choose. Overall, guys, I'm not saying, like I said, any of these cars are bad. I just feel like some of them aren't the greatest and they can lack a little bit coming out of turns with bad speed or racing. I'll get more than that when I race the RS1 in a little while. But like I said, it's just kind of crazy. Like I said, a lot of these cars aren't the greatest. Some of them are really cool and fun to drive, but when it comes to actually racing in summits and stuff like that, or doing events, getting the best speed, they just fall a little short of being that good, in my opinion at least. And obviously, like I said, I will be going over the bikes as well, because I do think these deserve some love. So as you guys see, I am hovering over the RS1 here, and well, that's for a good reason, guys. I feel like this car is the best car in the touring car class when it comes to the cars, that is. I feel like this car's just on top. It's fast, it handles insanely well, and well, it looks pretty dope too. And it was added fairly recently into the game as well. So if you're wondering what I'm running on here, is the Extra Pump in Pure. I do have the best set video for the touring car class. If you're interested, I'll leave that in the description below. But if you're wondering what the best parts to run on this is for like a fixed stats, Extra Pump and Pure I feel like is the best, because a lot of the tracks are normally pretty open and give you a chance to get more nitrous refilled over time, which definitely helps a lot, and having Extra Pump on there is very important. I used to actually run the Drag, Bump, and Shifty on here, and I noticed I was falling pretty short of the times in the summits with these cars, with pretty much any car I used for that matter, and that was definitely an issue I kept facing. And I finally got this other set here, which I feel like this set just honestly beats it all. I know that it's a summit set, but you can get Extra Pump and Pure there. You just won't have the extra 1% on each. You'll see still a huge difference though, guys. Like seriously, it's actually kind of insane how fast this makes the car. So guys, what makes the Renault my favorite go-to car for this class? Well, honestly, this car has insanely good acceleration, and when it comes to using nitrous, it just increases its speed so much. A lot of the touring cars do have pretty much the same when it comes to that. Like nitrous is very important with these because it helps the speed a lot. But you also want handling to be able to go around these turns as fast as you can. And a lot of these cars can do over 230. So having the right setting on the car and all that definitely helps a lot. So going around the track as fast as you possibly can, guys, is pretty much the goal here. With the summits, you're going to want to be as quick as you can to get the highest score you possibly can and get yourself into platinum. So when it's a no restriction race, you're going to want to really run the best car you possibly can. I feel like this car deserves some love. It was added recently, and if you're wondering, you can pick it up. All you gotta do is go purchase it in the Touring Car HQ and or Blue, HQ there for the pro racing, and you'll be able to buy this thing, and I feel like you will not regret it. I've been looking at a lot of the leaderboards on a lot of the races. I know a lot of the races actually have the Panigale R, which I'll be making a video about the bikes as well, because I feel like those deserve some love, and they're actually really good as well to use sometimes. But when it comes to the cars, I noticed this car was on top of the leaderboards and a lot of the races, and I feel like that's for a good reason. I didn't really use this car too much. I actually use it in a good amount of the summits, and I got really high scores in the summits with it, and I was kind of surprised, probably because its handling is just so good. You can fly around corners and you get really good speed with it, and it doesn't eat nitrous really bad. Like on this straightaway, for example, I'm doing over 240, which obviously is amazing, and you can go right into this turn here at a pretty dang good pace as well. So it's kind of amazing how important that is with cars, guys, because you want to handle as best you can and not run into walls like I just did. But overall, guys, like I said, so when it comes to the set as well on these vehicles, I highly recommend going after Extra Pump and Pure, mainly because getting nitrous on these races, you're not going to be hitting nitrous around these corners, so it gives it a chance for the nitrous to refill. And having the Extra Pump on there is very important because you want to get as fast as you can. You want to be able to fly out of the corners and all that, which is another thing I feel like this car is really good on as well. So for example, when going into these turns, obviously you can lose speed sometimes because the car doesn't handle very well, but the Renault just flies into them, and I notice it can fly out of them really quick because of the acceleration that it seems to have. And mixed with a good nitrous set there, and or even nitrous chemist in general, you could pretty much fly out of these turns with ease. And I am obviously playing in manual, so it's a little different. I feel like some cars are better in automatic, which is really weird. But regardless, guys, it is really amazing, and I highly recommend to check this car out. I mean, it really does hold this class, honestly. At least when it comes to the cars. The only other car I would recommend going after is the Gallardo Super Trofeo. That car is insanely good. Probably butchered the name on that, but that's the other car I would use besides this one. That car is insanely good as well, and I might even throw that in this video as well for a secondary vehicle you guys can go after. I also figure, guys, I would throw in the Lamborghini as well, guys, because I feel like this car is very close to the Renault in a lot of ways, and if you're a tour between the Renault and this car, I recommend trying them both. I feel like these are basically both the cars that are on top. I would choose the Renault over this, but this was one of my other go-to cars before the Renault came out. And as you can see, I cannot drive. But this car is also insanely good, and I highly recommend giving this thing a shot too. It handles very well. I just do feel like the Renault is better in ways. I think it can handle its speed a little more, and I think the car just grips a lot better. But this car is right behind it in a lot of ways, and this was, like I said, the car that I ran before the Renault actually came out, which I feel like is definitely a great vehicle as well. But I guess it really depends on what you guys actually like to use. I guess when I was looking, like I said, all the leaderboards is always the Renault. I didn't really see this car too much in there, a little bit, but I think the Renault really is taking over. With the right build, that car is just a monster overall, and I feel like it does deserve some love. And if you guys are touring, like I said, give this car a try as well, and try not to drive it like I am right now, and you might get way better times on your races as well. This car was used a good amount on a lot of the touring races before the Renault came out, and I feel like it did great. And this was on top of the leaderboard for a while, but the RS01 just seems to be much superior to it. I pretty much got the same score with this car as I did with the Renault. I got 236, and they're both like amazing, guys. I just wanted to say, get this thing in there as well. I'll show the settings for my Renault and this car as well in this video. If you guys are interested, try both, but I highly recommend the Renault if you're looking for the best time. And here are the settings I'm running on the Renault RS01. And if you guys are interested in using the Lamborghini Gallardo Super Trofeo over the Renault, or you want to test them out, here are my settings for this car as well.